Hello everyone, this is Harry Gill, and this video is a very first part of functional programming series. Functional programming is chapter 15 in the book. To learn functional programming, we need to know certain concepts. So first few videos will be discussing these prerequisites. To learn about the functional programming, the first thing you will need to know is what functional interfaces are and what each and every functional interface is meant to be done, which is listed on this slide. I have already done a video on functional interface, which I will link here, but a functional interface is an interface that has one and only one unimplemented method. It can have other static and default methods, but there will be only one unimplemented method. Since functional interface is an interface, we need a way to provide its implementation. And the way we provide functional interfaces implementation is either via using lambdas or using method reference. So it's very important for you to understand what lambdas are and also what method references are. I will also link the video of lambdas and reference methods in this video so that you can go over to refresh your memory. In this video, we will cover Supplier, and I'll create other videos to cover the other functional interfaces. I have already created this barebone class called Supplier example, which has a empty main method. Before we write the code, let's jump into the definition of the Supplier interface. So hit Ctrl+O or Command+O for Mac and type Supplier. If you do not get the result, then select all files instead of project file in this dropdown. And the class that we are interested is in java.util.functions package, and the name is Supplier. Supplier, or all the other functional interfaces that we will read, they are written in a generic way. Generics is a different concept where Java allows us to write a class in a generic way. So in this case, the T in the angle brackets suggests that this class or this interface will be using the type T. This interface has only one method, and that method is not taking any inputs, but it's returning a type of T. So when we create a supplier, say of the type string, then we need to write the implementation of the supplier which should return string. And the reason is because of the generics, that T has to match to the type of returned by get. If I create a supplier of, say, animal, then the implementation that we write, the get method should return an object of the type animal. So jumping back into our supplier example class, I'm going to create a supplier of the type string, and first implementation I'm going to use lambdas to implement this functional interface. And as you have seen, there is no inputs that get method will take, but it will return a string, and in this case I'm just returning a string called as Java. So this is how we write a supplier using lambda. I'm going to write another supplier, but now using method reference. Again, if you're not clear what method references are, please watch my previous video, which I will link in this video. As in another example, I'm going to write another supplier of the type local date, and first I will again use lambdas, and later on I will use method reference way to define the exact same supplier. So local date has a static method called now, which returns a type of local date. So we will be using the now method on the local date object. If we go into the definition of the now, as you see, now is a static. It doesn't take any input, but it returns local date. Now I'm going to write the same supplier using the method reference. Since now is static, I'm going to use the local date : now, which will give us exact same output as lambda. So I'm just writing both the ways so that you can compare and match. Since the syntax of the method reference is a bit tricky, so the more you look at it, the more accustomed you will get to the syntax. Now I'm going to use all these four suppliers that I have just written. I'm going to use the print statement. I'm going to simply get the object that is being supplied and print it. And also note that we will have to use the get method. That's how you will get the actual value from the supplier. I'm going to copy paste this statement and change the variable name. Now I'm going to save and run the program. So here's the output. So S1 prints Java. S2 is empty because we didn't set any value. It's an empty string. So that's why S2 prints empty. S3 and S4 prints today's date. That's pretty much it what I wanted to discuss in Supplier. The more practice you do, the more familiar you will get and the better understanding of the concept you will grab. In the next video, we will discuss consumer and by consumers. Until next time, bye-bye.